Welcome to a new product review by Dreamreef.nl. Today we're taking a look at the new aCone EVO skimmer from Aqua. This skimmer comes in various sizes, but we're taking a look at the 1.0 today. As you can see, it consists out of various parts, so the first thing we're going to do is put it together. And while I'm doing that, I'll tell you a little bit about it. The first thing we're going to do is install the air inlet to the DC runner pump. Now, display here is the 1.0 aCone, which is good for aquariums up to 800 liters. But there is also a 1.5 and 3.0, which are good for 1500 liters and 2500 liters of aquarium. This one is equipped with a DC runner 1.2. The other skimmers are equipped with bigger DC runner pumps, as you can see. Now, once you put the air inlet on there, you can just hang the DC runner pump straight into your skimmer. Now, make sure that on the part that goes inside the skimmer, you have the rubber bushings on it. That way it will close up nicely. So the next thing we're going to do is install the outlet. Now, this also is very easy. It consists out of two pieces of PVC piping, which you just press together, and thanks to the O-rings they will make a nice seal. And the nice thing about this outlet is that you can point it in pretty much any direction, so you can control your outflow. So the next thing we're going to put on here is the air inlet hose. It's a nice silicone hose which you just hook up to the air inlet that you put on the pump and on the silencer, as you can see what I'm doing right now, that's on the skimmer. So this is not just the air inlet, but on the skimmer itself is also a silencer, and it's even adjustable, so you can decide how much air you want to provide to your skimmer pump. All you have to do is just slide the hoses on. Now, if this is difficult, just make them wet a little bit. So the next thing we're going to do is hook up the controller to the DC runner pump. It's very straightforward, and the connection is only able to fit in one way. So you just press them together and then screw the lid on. It's sealed by an O-ring which will keep the water out. The last thing you need to connect to your controller will be your power cord. And the really nice thing about this controller is that you can really set your skimmer and determine how fast you want it to skim. And there we go, we're set. So the next thing I want to show you is the options you have to set your skimmer. This right here controls the air inlet, so you can close it towards the minus side or open it more to the plus side, allowing you to determine how much air goes to your DC runner pump. The one right here is determining your outflow, which also has a nice plus and minus on it, so you know what you're doing. And to really show you what happens when you turn that valve, we took a picture right here. That's your outflow, and as you can see, you can close it up and open it again. This determines how high you want the water to rise within your skimmer. Alright, so I've set it up in a small tank just to show you guys how it skims, and I can also show you guys what options there are to adjust the skimmer to your needs. Now notice that this is the first time that I'm actually running the skimmer, therefore it won't skim that great, although you can see it's already doing pretty well, but it might be a little bit inconsistent because, as with all new skimmers, it needs at least 24 hours to break in. You need some organic waste actually inside your skimmer to make it work well. So the first time you're running a skimmer, it might just run over, or it actually won't run over at all. Just let it go for at least 24 hours until you start tuning it. Now, as you can see, it's working actually pretty well, better than I expected the first time. It's actually also quite silent, and I think it's about time I'm going to show you guys what we can do with it. So the first thing I'm going to show you is what happens if you tweak the controller. Basically what you do here is actually control the DC runner pump and making it run slower. So that means the air and water mixture will just be less, and it will just run less powerful. As you can see here, the water falls back a little bit. I would actually recommend running your pump at full power, because that way you always have maximum skimmer availability. But I can understand if, for example, you don't have any fish in your tank and just squirrels, you can run it at a little bit lower power. As you can see, as I'm powering it up, the bubbles will rise again. Just one of the nice features you have when there's a DC runner pump connected to your skimmer. This way you can just really set your skimmer to meet your tank's needs. Alright, so let me put it back to full power again so I can show you guys what other options we have to tweak this skimmer. As you can see, as soon as I put it to full power, the bubbles start rising straight away again, so it responds nice and quick. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to take a look at is the air inlet. By twisting it that way, you'll close the air inlet a little bit, and by doing that you actually change the water air mix. So depending on your waste load in your aquarium, you can really fine tune your skimmer. As you can see, it responds pretty quick to it, but I always recommend that making changes to your skimmer, you just wait a few hours before you make another change to it. This function, together with the function of the outflow, will probably be one of the things you use most commonly to really set your skimmer to your tank's needs. Alright, so we're taking a look at the outflow, which is the other knob behind the air inlet in this case. There's also a plus and minus on it, which allows you to change it, and as you can see, when I twist it, I will restrict the water going out of the skimmer, actually rising the water level in the skimmer, and thereby, as you can see now, overflowing it with skimming, exactly how we want it to be. Now, if your skimmer runs for a little while, or if you close it too much, this is exactly what happens. So in the beginning, I also advise just leaving it open, let it run for 24 hours, and then start tweaking it to your tank's needs. As you might have noticed on the actual outflow at the bottom of the skimmer, there's air bubbles coming out. Now this has something to do with the way you set up your skimmer, and there's actually one more option to control the skimmer, which I'm going to show you right now. There's actually a neat little feature to this, and that's the valve right here at the bottom. Now if you open this, you'll allow water to flow out of your skimmer at another level of the skimmer, and as you can see, instantly the bubbles disappear. Now I opened this valve a little bit too far, because now you can see the water drop inside the skimmer. But this particular valve is actually a really nice feature to the skimmer, because by adjusting it the right way, you can actually adjust this skimmer to the water level in your sump. Now I always recommend that you need a steady water level in whatever area you put your skimmer, but this valve here actually allows you to put the skimmer in a little bit deeper water, for example. So all these handy features make this skimmer suitable for various sumps and water levels. I think it's a really nice feature. Alright, so that's it. We took a look at Aquametic's brand new aCone EVO 1.0 skimmer. As I already told you, it also comes in bigger sizes, and I really think with all the neat features it has and all the options to set it and the good quality materials, that Aquametic has really grown in their skimmers, and therefore it makes a nice competitor on today's market. So I want to thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel or check us out at www.Dreamreef.nl. And if you really like the new products that Aquametic keeps releasing these days, you can go ahead and sign up to their newsletter on their website at www.aqua-medic.de, and just sign up for their newsletter. They'll send you an email whenever they release new products. And that's it. Thank you for watching, and hope to see you next time.